some tweaks to a classic, and it's made it all the faster for it. 3.85 kilometers in length, the Ruby, Rock and Ruby section. Still a huge part of it. Shimano corner, the tech zone at top of the track, second tech zone for the Red Bull energy section. And now that links all into one big long descent before they head back down into the arena itself on that huge. The gun goes, the lights turn green, and they are off and racing in Nové Město na Moravě. And it's the UCI World Champion Puck Petersen of Alpecin de Koning who leads them down this really long start-finish straight and onto the start loop, Ollie.
Yeah, good start for Puck. Keller as well, Richards. Yeah, and hopefully so far no incidences. We saw a couple in the short track yesterday.
It's wide, it's fast, but it is so dangerous, this first loop here in Nové Město na Moravě. Speed's really high. Riders 3 or 4 abreast as they swing left and head up the hill now.
Yeah, that's how these riders started well. Kate Courtney, she looked really strong in the short track yesterday, but was unfortunately got taken out. I think Kelsey Urban, they had to come in together on that course, but she was looking really strong.
Yeah.
Puck Petersen put herself right at the front. She's just squeezing. You can see the pace is going down. We know the form she's in. And if a rider who's in good shape, but if they'd have gone into this section 10th or 12th wheel.
Decathlon Ford, the New Zealander in that red and white jersey, which signifies she leads the overall points chase. But Puck Petersen now starting to put a bit of distance between herself and the chasing pack. They need to get organised here, Ollie.
Yeah, and it's Rizveds, Keller, Candice Lill as well coming up through. I think it'll be a good circuit for her today. I mean, he's one of those riders that's so strong on the climbs, technically maybe not as good as someone like a Rizveds.
Puck Petersen having a good go here in Nové Město na Moravě.
Yeah, the pressure she's putting on from the get-go, but one rider that is responding just a little further back. Sammy Maxwell now is up to 7th position, working her way through.
Samara Maxwell working her way towards the front of this one. Keller as well, though. It's a funny surface, isn't it? There's sort of a drop-off point where it gets so dry that the grip starts to fall away again.
So those routes are similar to the steep cobble climbs on a road bike, where you can't attack it like a normal tarmac climb. You have to sit down. We see Puck Petersen there. Now we've got a bit more grip. She can use a bit of body weight and get out the saddle and attack a bit more. On that climb, you've just got to stay. It's all seated power. It's all torque.
Do you think this is a bit, as I say, a bit of the old sort of rope-a-dope technique of just... But Candice Lill refusing to be shaken. That elastic band not breaking just yet. You can see Puck Petersen just brings her hands in towards the stem, ducks the shoulders down, gets out of the wind as much as she can. And we talked about this in Irish Sharjah in the 23 race. If the world champion's at the front, you don't help.
No, 100%. The race, especially after Puck Petersen is such a strong short track as well. She's now 100% the favourite today. It's all about hanging on. That either had a bad start or a poor short track race, but they're coming back to these front group of 3.
Yep, lap 3 out of 7 here in Nové Město na Moravě. Round 3, it's the UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup. Puck Petersen on her return. First time we've seen her in the UCI World Champions colours. As we see Keller motor past Puck Petersen round the outside. Alessandra Keller is currently out Puck Petersen, and Candice Lill. I wonder if there's a problem here for Puck Petersen. Or have the legs just gone away from her? It's a flat tire. It's a rear flat for Puck Petersen, and this is a genuine opportunity for Keller and Lill.
And it's a long way to the feed.
Well, we just mentioned that Samara Maxwell was in 5 seconds of Puck Petersen. It's a lot less than that now. A gap that Lill had, but Maxwell behind them in the same shot now, just about. Samara Maxwell, the UCI World Cup overall points leader. Still Alessandra Keller in the lead here on lap 3 out of 7 in Nové Město na Moravě. And here is that wheel change. And Zina Fry in front of Puck Petersen now, so Petersen.
Fresh tyre, but 1:28 now.
24 seconds back, rides past Zina Fry. So this is it. If you're these two, The catch is on. You need to keep moving forward here.
Yeah, we think another thing that's in Puck Peter's favour, it's going to be a longer race today.
There's Josh Carlson in the bottom right-hand side of your screen.
Now, if you're going to be on one place on the course, be on this whoop climb's where to be at. It's where the atmosphere is, where it's... The downhills are obviously cool, but it's on this big climb, that's where it's at.
Well, huge crowds here on the whoop wall section, as ever. And they are being treated to an intriguing first half of this one. Lap 4 out of 7 of the third round of the UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup. And become a group of 5 at the front again, as we have 3 laps to go here in Nové Město na Moravě. 9 podiums in Elite Cross Country Olympic, including 2 wins in 2023 for the Austrian, and it's now Mona Mitterwallner for the first time. Fair game?
Borderline.
I think your answer might be different if you were sat out there on a race bike, to be honest, but Henderson's last cross-country Olympic UCI World Cup win, Nové Město 2022, the rider in your shot now. You know, she's been on the road and she's still learning that, but she said one of the things that she found really difficult about that is on the road bike, the hurt and the pain can arrive at any moment, whereas on a mountain bike, you know, Loan Lecomte!
Yeah.
Nearly losing the front end right in one of the worst places in the world to do so. In that rock and ropey descent in Nové Město na Moravě. Meanwhile, on the whoop wall, Mitterwallner leading them up.
And it's that acceleration for Mitterwallner. You see, she's absolutely pinning these descents. We're going back to Mitterwallner as well, because she was so good, so young, and she's been in the sport for a long time.
Mitterwallner's going here, you know. She's having a big attack off the front on this descent. Mona Mitterwallner from Mondricker Factory Racing.
And this would be a huge result for that new factory team. Like I say, 25% gradient at the top of this section, plus the roots, plus the dust. And you see these riders, they have to stay seated the whole time. They're desperate to get out the saddle, but the moment they do, the real wheel will slip. You see Sammy Maxwell just a couple of pedal strokes out the saddle, trying to use some body weight.
Sammy Maxwell looking really, really strong here. In second place in the red and white jersey of the overall leader. The series so far.
Really good climb for Maxwell up there. Close the gap to Mitterwallner.
Tell you what, as well, big ride from Samara Maxwell, given how disappointed she was with the short track yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, she's under... I was trying to work out, we were talking about it in the pre-show, whether Samara Maxwell is, as a result of her start, is she under more pressure because she did really well, or less pressure? And I was like thinking, trying to work it out, having never led the World Cup overall, trying to put myself in her shoes, thinking, well, actually, I feel less pressure. You know, you've already had a good season, you've won a race, you've second race, you're coming here, and then, but it's a new race. You come into Europe, there's a run of races, and you're thinking, was that a flash in the pan? Have I got it?
Aside from the professional cyclists, though, they are on to the final lap here at the third round of the UCI Cross Country Olympic World Cup for the elite women in Nové Město na Moravě, one of the biggest days in cross country racing. But that rear puncture. Samara Maxwell. Samara Maxwell in trouble here in Nové Město na Moravě, getting tangled up with the course marking tape on the right-hand side of the course, and that has allowed Mona Mitterwallner to steal an advance on her. Sammy Maxwell in trouble here in Nové Město na Moravě. And what is the mix we're looking at here, Ollie? Descending versus climbing versus who's strongest where? I mean,
they're so evenly matched today.
Sammy Maxwell made history in Ayrshire earlier in the year when she became the first Kiwi to win an elite women's cross-country UCI World Cup. She's going to make a bit more if she can become the first one to make 2, but Mona Mitterwallner's riding away from her here. Sammy Maxwell gets the message, stands on the pedals, tries to follow her. Ollie Beckinsale can hardly watch in the booth. With Mitterwallner, here we go. Mitterwallner hits the asphalt. Maxwell hits the asphalt. Who's it going to be? Samara Maxwell riding back towards the Austrian now. Mona Mitterwallner grits her teeth. This is it. Is she going to take her first UCI World Cup win since 2023 in Liège? Mona Mitterwallner heading for glory here in Nové Město na Moravě. Maxwell struggling to close the gap. They stand up. It's going to be a sprint finish. Mona Mitterwallner versus Sammy Maxwell here in Nové Město na Moravě. And it's Mona gets the job done. Mondraker have their first ever UCI cross-country World Cup victory, and it comes courtesy of an absolutely unbelievable ride from that young woman on your screen now, Mona Mervalner, getting it done in Nové Město na Moravě. Third place will go to Kendis Lil. Ollie Beckinsale, absolutely unbelievable race.
Wow.
And is back with a bang at the top of the results sheet. Finishing on the same second as Sammy Maxwell. Look at that. Kendis Lil third, then it was Keller, Henderson, Steger, Batten, Kohler, Lecomte and Terpstra, your top 10.
Mona, welcome back to the top step of UCI World Cup. How does it feel?
Well, I can't really describe it. You know, it has been a long time to be on the top of the World Cup podium, and doing it here in Nové Město in like the most, I would say, original place of cross country. It's such an honor, and I always dreamed of it, and now I did, and I really can't believe.
What a race she rode today. Mittervalner tastes glory in Nové Město na Moravě. Mittervalner, Maxwell and Lil. UCI cross-country Olympic World Cup victory. Here's what the overall standings look like after that one though. Maxwell leads Kohler still by 185 points, and it's Richards, Keller, Lil, Risvits, Jackson, Mittervalner up into 8th after that, 318 points. Back then it's Lecomte and Blanc, your top 10.